All right. So for anybody that watches the UFC, do you think that there's a lot of fan bases like that of Tony Ferguson's? Because he's just really popular. No matter win or loss, he's like really, really popular right now. Because he's been around for like 10 years or so. He actually made his debut in June of 2011. So that makes him, he's been in the UFC for over a decade. And then he has 20 wins and 4 losses with that huge 12-fight win streak that got broken by Justin Gaethje, which was like pretty sad to see because Tony was really fun to watch for a long time. But he's been on a 3-fight skid. Obviously, the last person he lost to was Beneil Dariush, and that was his third loss in a row. And so I'm wondering what the UFC is going to do with him next, and actually what he should do. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm not a professional fighter, but just from like a promotion standpoint, Tony probably needs to get like a really good matchup. He needs to either get, I think he needs to either get a money fight next or some good matchup that can like get his confidence back, because his confidence seems like it's a little shot at the moment. You know, three losses in a row is real bad at his age and for how long he's been around for. So I'm wondering if Dana White is going to try and match him up in a big money fight against McGregor or Diaz, if Diaz can get back down to lightweight. I think it would be, like it'd bring a ton of money in just based off name value. And I like Connor, Nate, and Tony, but lightweight has moved on from their era. Neither of them are like top guys anymore. Obviously you can debate about McGregor snapping his ankle against Poirier, but nonetheless he was getting beat up before that happened, and he also got beaten really badly by him. The second time they faced, I think lightweight the whole division just moved on from the three of them, so you can put them together because of their name value. Either of them three, you could match up a fight, and they will bring in a lot of views and a lot of pay-per-views, bring a lot of media attention. It'll probably be the biggest fight of the year sales-wise. But I don't know if the UFC wants to do that, particularly with Tony. I mean, I think it'd be a good idea, but if they want to, they could try to get Tony back to where he used to be. If he faces a lower ranked guy that might be, overvalued at their spot, he can really, put on a show. But Tony himself, he might only have one fight left in the UFC if he loses it. If he loses his next one, that's 4 in a row. I think he's probably going to get cut, unless they somehow immediately get a matchup for a big money fight that would, for some reason, they figure one out. But I don't see it happening. So on Tony's end, though, he has been quiet recently. Dana actually recently, right at the beginning of November, said that Tony wanted to sit out for a bit. He had no intent in fighting anytime soon, which could lead to a money fight with McGregor, because McGregor's out with injury. I'm just going to say that. They could end up matching up down the road, but probably decently unlikely. But nonetheless, Tony hasn't been doing any sort of social media work. I mean, obviously, like, Tony has his own. He's a pretty wacky guy. That's what makes him so entertaining. But he hasn't really been calling out anyone or saying anything reckless, doing anything to get attention to him right now, which is something he probably needs, because if he loses his next fight, the only thing that could keep him in the UFC is the fact that he gets attention on him and that he sells fights. And that's, there's a big in the UFC and mixed martial arts in general, but particularly the UFC and fight promotion, media hype leads to better business through sales, and it is a sport, but these organizations need to make money. So they try to promote these fights the best as possible. That's why you see Conor McGregor being so popular, because of how good he was at promotion. He got shots, he got, big fights easier than others just because of his promotion value and his media value. There's popularity that he gained through being good at that end of it. He's fun to listen to. He's an interesting guy. And, you see it with Colby now. Colby puts on a persona I explained it. I actually explained it in my last video that Colby puts on a persona to sell his fights because he was going to get cut. So the UFC has headed down that road now. And I think it's good for, bringing the sport to a wider audience. Just, take it into, understand that when you're seeing all this hype and this lead up to these fights that the UFC needs to sell fights. So they're going to do it however they can, which is through fighters that may not be as skilled as others, but they can bring attention to the sport. So they're going to get shots at big fights, titles, etc. So yeah, just remember that.